see a police drive down the car. And Mavado pull over and say, what's this now? And when we come out the car, the officer take her for a gun, give it to her co-worker and say, Mavado, that song that you did called Hope and Pray, it changed my life. And she cried. And she hug him up and she take picture with him and that. Me never forget them thing there. Because all along we on the toll, we are so why this bag of police a drive we down? Mommy, your son passed the worst, that's why me say. Growing up on the gully was a hard fight. Never see JPS, it was a dark night. So me get the pen and paper and start right. Make the money buy some car, who no allow me business, who no fast like. And tell me what no know about my past life.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Star on the Rise. On our guest today is a big bad dancehall artist himself, Simflow. He's sharing the spotlight with us today to give us some more info on his musical journey, his new music, upcoming projects, and the reason why his name is still being called in the streets right now. Welcome, Simflow. Thank you so much for being here.
Natasha, thanks for having me. Pleasure being here.
All right. Before we even go any further, your name itself is telling, but I want you to introduce yourself to the viewers, and in the intro, let them know where you got that moniker, the stage moniker, Simflow.
Well, I am Simflow, officially Davian Gordon, stage name Simflow. How I got Simflow, I started with a name Simplestar. I was at a studio with my first song at Deva House Records or Deva Productions. And it was there, Deva said to me like, what are you gonna name yourself? And I say, Deva, I'm not give myself too much contradicting name. I'm sorry. Simple Star, Blind Eye. I don't want to give me name too much. Yeah, and then while having the Simple Star name, going along, I just get Simflow by a slang. Like every time I do a song, like the intro would be like Simflow. And by doing that, I was around Mavado one at the time, and he said to me, yo, that name Simflow, but you can work with it. And quite a few, the fans them kind of fix the name how they want it sometimes.
Yeah.
So they would say Simflow or they would say Flow. And by answering to that, it just take on in the streets and what Vada said, and I said, okay, Simflow, a legend, I said that to me. Futuristic, it's alright, this is the name because I'm always open to, critique on certain things. I'm sorry. Simple Star was just the first name given. So Simflow just came along naturally doing the music. So I just work with Simflow.
All right. So on that note, you just mentioned, your affiliation with Mavado. And, he's one of the established acts, from Cassava Peace. And you're also affiliated with that grounds. What's the relation like with you and him since that collab you did in 2015 called Clean Suh?
Well, it's been on and off. Like, the relationship is good. You don't know, Vada is a bigger mentor to me and so forth, and a bridging. But he migrate overseas. We haven't spoken on the phone like that. But over social media, I would put up certain things and he will comment or he would say, up my G, or continue doing what you're doing. Like a chit chat here and there.
Yeah, and even recently he reposted one of your songs as well.
And Nuh Bwoy, the other day I tagged him in a video that I dropped called Nuh Bwoy, produced by Ripower Music. And he reposted it on his stories on Instagram, and I find that interesting because I'm saying, that's what I'm expecting
of him, yeah.
So
yeah,
it was
that's
a good look for me, for him to give me that strength, big him up, same way.
And while you're representing your brand or your song, by wearing your drip clean all the while, how is it still doing on the radar in terms of the traction and what you've been seeing in terms of rotation online?
Well, it's going good. Always in the street, getting feedbacks from the fans and on social media, people from way in Ghana, England. I have a little fan base in England as well, my dad background is in England. So, in America, quite a few people over there as well. So, you don't know your schoolmates, your community members, people always kind of vibe to Simflow and my style and some always come with a cleanness there.
Yeah, true. Would you say that would have been one of your major highlights in your career at that time, or that's when you got that stardom, that sort of feel?
Yeah, I would say that was a big moment for me in terms of that collab that I did in 2015, Clean Suh, And you're young at the time. I was like 25, them age, and it was a big moment, and was a big artist. It's a big artist, so it feels good, at the time to know that I have a song coming out with Mavado and stuff. So it propelled my name in the streets. Like more people know me now. In Canada, the song was doing good. Some parts in America, as I said, and people from there kind of start taking on to the thing and do some dub plates and get some features here and there, like a write up here and there, or a song play and there. So yeah, it was a big moment for me. It was like one of the highest point in my career at that time.
Yeah. But since then, you've created your own niche and you stepped out. 10 years later, you're here now. What has that journey been like for you in terms of your treading your own trajectory to this day?
Well, it was what put me to the place that I am now.
Yeah,
I would say, because at one point I did kind of step outside of music and taking on a family responsibility. I get my daughter, and in 2016, and start doing some other things like some farming, because I love farming. I love livestock and ground provisions and them kind of things, because my mother's background is in St. Andrew. So at that time, I kind of did pause the music for a minute and was focusing on bringing up my daughter and freeing my headspace, because Mavado gone overseas and the team kind of get disintegrated a little way, so you don't know, you have to try your own part. So I start make some link with more step of them now. After I step back into the thing now, Repower music, Ivy League production, the musical antidotes, Real Youths Records, and the list goes on and on and on, So it was ins and outs for me, because I was learning along the way as well. Certain things I wasn't doing properly, now I'm doing it properly. And certain people wasn't on the team at that time, and we have good people on the team now, so the ship is sailing.
All right, McGregor. All right, I see what you did right there. But I like the fact that you never actually just threw in the toil and say, may I just give up on music, because even though I took a break, this has been your calling, and this is a passion that you recognize from how young or how early, you'd say.
I would say at what age I was performing at treats. Maybe say 8 years old, 9, 10.
Yeah.
We had the community treat on Manningsville Road and Avondale Plaza. Every Christmas before you go back to school, or the summer finish, you would have a back to school treat. And instead of dancing, I would DJ for my presents. More the local era playing them and the stuff. Them so used to go up on stage and sing "Roses find a new stem, then you dance every ever mad them." And look up on the stages, the birds are playing and then sang there and so forth. And they used to say, "Oh, you can sing and you have the style." And book, and them look us up and I say, "You have to take up music." And after that, now growing up, I used to talk to my father on the phone overseas, and he used to say, "You should record it on a little tape, but as a little lad, you don't really know how to get your voice on a tape." And I said, "Dad, no man, I just go up on the stage and take the mic and sing my thing, but I don't know how to really put it on a tape." So it started from that, from a younger age, and from there now, I start grow up a little more. 15, 16, I start to come to the studio with a youth called Wasi. We used to go to the studio as an artist, and he used to invite me. And you have Exodus studio right on Manningsville Road here. So, and it's a bunch. I grew up around the music basically, because I can give history. Because from Exodus Nuclear Studio, that's where all the entertainers in Jamaica come to do their dub plates and meet and greet and socialize. That was like the little hotspot of Manningsville Road. But a little incident happened and the engineer passed, and they moved the studio to Reddy's Road. So we had to start to go to other studios, like private studios, a little studio here and there. But while Exodus was around, it gave us a lot of exposure as young youths, and that's where we kind of developed the love more to say, this is what we love. Because sometimes we used to in the studio, when Bounty Killer walk in and be like, you come out of the studio, left the little youth them alone. On the stay right there, so don't move, don't make no noise. We get a little experience, and we watch Bounty. And Bunty done do him look dub, then Bunty gone out in the parking lot, gone Reezer and buy with some food, because he used to have this little tuck shop. So Bunty would pay for some food and so forth. Right after Bunty, you would see Ninja Man drive in, flying 4-car door, and the excitement, the gargan walk in. You used to have Demus family, your Elephant Man, Roundhead, Ghost, Monster shot them, hot them time. I tell you, say, we grew up around the thing. Buju Bant and them, that same Mark Myrie, when them kids them cool like that, Marcus, Jazzy, them. So we've been around the thing, and with Bounty as well. Bounty was always coming up by our community, so we used to more affiliate with Bounty, And being, being the vibes and the more flair and things. So we're on the killer, and the killer used to check footer hype up there. So Mavado them start link with the killer now. So any little thing keeping a cassava piece, Bounty I go forward. And Bounty was like a real godfather to we as the youths. And I have to mention his name in this interview because I grew up I eat food from Bounty and in terms of in left a change here and there. Anytime see we as the youths. Being used to give way as well, Ninja Man, but Bounty give way more. When he treat people, when Mavado invite him up in the community, we were dead there and him now less than make alright, ask what we want, what we shot at, and things like that. So I was really affiliated around the music, and then you have Turbulence now and Hungry Town there, so bust out with Notorious. So the exposure for me inhide from at all the time. So growing up now, I say, so this I want to do. But I put the icing on the cake now. It's when Mavado came out now and said, what them I do, what them I try, or they ain't real Mackay. I said, no man, this is my thing, man. If and David do it, me can do it. And I say, David, I do it and I do it. And I go high school, sometimes school just to go up on the road with him. Sometimes we used to cuss and say, you're only too young, you're not ready for the road yet, wait till you grow up a little bit. But by the time he reach a St. Elizabeth and looking at one of the car back them, I mean that him say, and my mother beat me sometime, and I tell her, I say, Mommy, I can do my schoolwork, you send me to school to read and write and so forth, and I can do that, I'm good at that, and I can check very well. The rest, me will learn it out there, so music is what I love.
With that said though, what's that one message that you would always want to resonate with your fans, despite what you're doing in terms of the diversity, in terms of the, oh, may I go gangster today, I'm going to go for the ladies tomorrow. What's that one message you always want to resonate with fans?
Well, it's the positive side at all times. I might sing a gangster song, I might sing a song a girl a wind up and pole or whatever. You know what I mean? Entertaining, but it's really the positive message. Always take something positive from the song. If it is something will make you just a dance and a move your foot, at least it'll give you a joy. You know what I mean? Don't look on the negative side like to say, I don't want to hear this now or this, that. Just look into it, you know? It's always good to try something different. This is something different sometimes. You never may know. Because sometimes I'm scrolling on social media and I see some artists that it's the first time seeing them or hear them. You know, in your own time, what I do is just give them a listen at first. I don't like to scroll past and make me feel away. Because me I say the same thing when I want for myself, I do to others. So I give them a little listen. If what them are saying really resonate with me like that, I may not feel that energy there, it's okay for me to just scroll on or me leave a like and say okay. So the positive is just take something positive from what Simflow or bring out there right now, you know. Don't look so much on the other side like to get the wrong impression. You know, we have the gangster image, sometimes we get raunchy, sometimes we, you know? But just know say
there's always a positive message there. Okay. All right. Okay, good. And before we wrap, I just have two more questions for you. That overall aim that you had when you just entered the entered into the music world, and looking on your mentor and other artists that you look up to, you'd probably want to emulate certain times or certain achievements or accomplishments that they have made. But what's that one main goal for you in terms of musical achievement that you'd want?
All right. I have different goals in music, but my main goal is to be established, world know Simflow, and you know, taking on to my music and my achievements like winning a Grammy, a Mavado, or you know what I mean. I can make an income so I can maybe help a less fortunate, take care of my family, and also push back some money in the music, start a record label, produce some artists, like keep the thing going, because I see as an artist, everybody have them different aspirations. Me, Simflow saying, I think that every musician should give back something to music, like whether open a studio, something to do with music, so you can say that's my contribution, but different from your charity and what you do for your friends and your family. At least that can show, say, okay, I came from the music and I give back to the music. You know what I mean? I might not be jumping up on stage anymore like that, but you can see some of my proteges. So one of my goals is to make it, get a Grammy, and have my music streaming all over the world. People have a household name, so if I walk into this building, a person can say, wow, that's Simflow. You know what I mean? Yeah, and I can do some positive with my what I gain from the music, or hope that my music can resonate and change the lives of certain people. You can listen to my music and be motivated, inspired. And if you ever go shoot a man, you can listen to Simflow and decide, so sure, who don't back that, that
Simflow say.
Yeah, I listen to the artists. I say, because people go through that,
Yeah, man.
On the road already with the artists I come from API Jamaica, and I see a police drive down the car. I'm over to pull over and say, what's this now? And when we come out the car, the officer take her for a gun, give it to her co-worker and say, Mavado, that song that you did called Hope and Pray, it changed my life. And she cried, and she hugged him up, and she take picture with him, and that, me never forget them thing. Because all along we on the toll, we are so why this bag of police are drive we down? You know, we have a reputation. Sometimes when the police then crash up the gully side or something. Yeah, we're good now. You know? Peace and love to the officers about here. Yeah, so that was a moment, you know, when I see the officer and she came out and she hugged Mavado and take the picture and said, Hope and Pray, that song changed my life.
Yeah, man, and
said,
make impact.
Look at that. And some people would have bashed the artist and say, oh, that gangster boy there and this and that. But even if I come from the ghetto, that don't mean so I can't inspire somebody. Not because you see me and my face look bush up, that don't mean so I can't speak fluent English. Or I not come from a decent home. So at the end of the day, the goal is always to inspire, you know, and to have an impact out there in the world and to give back to music, as I said. You know, as I said, different goals. Might not name out all of them.
Yeah, man.
But that's a few for now.
Yeah. It's not like you're gonna say I'm out. before you say I'm out, let the viewers know what is it that you're working on now in terms of your upcoming music and your upcoming projects. Are there any tentative shows that you're slated for and so forth?
I have an upcoming, like a pre-tour you would call it. In America, either America, one in America, one in Canada. But I think that would be activated in sometime early next year, January or so forth. But for now, you know, sometimes when I book for a show, but we run in and look for a show. Yeah, and that's the thing for a certain time, because as we say, we are put ourselves out there. Sometimes we get booked here and there. When the bookings not come in, we still make ourselves available so the fans can interact with, like the Boom Sundays, the Uptown Mondays. You know what I mean? You have a LAN up in St. Andrew called Benjamin HQ. From time to time, certain events will keep there, will pass through as well. And around the cut.